Govannen niblings. Let's play LotRO, episode 88. So I left Ostvarad. Was that its name? Yeah. I left Ostvarad for a little bit. I'm here in Dwaling. Now I realized that because I had come into Evendim here through the North Downs, that I skipped the vector quest that would have taken me to Oatbarton, and I don't want to do the quests in Oatbarton. They're fine, I just don't think they really make for a particularly good video. But I do like the quests in Dwaling and here in this southern part of Evendim, and those quests are actually on my level right now. You might remember from the previous episodes that I was pretty badly under-leveled for the quests up here, and I was doing fine in them. But I like some of these quests, especially the one I'm about to do in this episode, and so I decided to come down here and do at least some of these quests. I'm going to skip a good number of them. So this is the town of Dwaling. It is the northernmost part of the Shire. It's a little bit before sunrise still, so the sun will rise while I'm doing these quests. Now, there's only one quest chain I'm going to do here in Dwaling. I'm going to skip a lot of the others. I believe it's
Might
this
I
one.
speak with you a moment?
So this is a rather famous quest chain in this game. A lot of people say it's one of their favorite quest chains. So, Hob here says that Dwaling has never been a rich town. It's got a lot of glass blowers in it, but things took a turn for the worse. A lot of people moved out because there are lots of wild creatures about that have gotten more dangerous lately. And then a hobbit out of the West Farthing started buying up the property that people were vacating. He used to get his tools repaired by a friend, but the friend moved away, so he wants me to head into Dwaling to his shop and see if he left him there before he left. So he wants me to find his glassblowing tools in Dwaling. Now there are some troubles in Dwaling. Things are not looking great. Let's see, my milestone is set to Tinudir. I think I'm going to leave it on Tinudir. Now, as you can see, Dwaling is overrun by big folk, as the hobbits call them, or men. Now I need to get over this way to find this satchel. And these humans are hostile. There's the satchel that I'm looking for. There is a signature there guarding it. Oh, right. I've got this new ability, but I don't have anyone to use it on. Alright, that wasn't too difficult. These enemies are only 2 levels below me, so it's enough to make a little bit of a difference, but not a huge difference. And definitely easier than what I was fighting, which were things at level 35. So hopefully the quest I do here in Dwaling and farther to the north will get me a little closer to level 35.
It's been a foul day, it
Alright,
has.
so he's glad that I brought the tools.
Could I take a moment of your time?
Now, the hobbit he mentioned before who bought up all the property in Dwaling, he let big men buy the land. And while hobbits don't have anything against the big folk, they don't want them living in the Shire. So he says he wants to send a letter to the mayor. One of his friends, Perlina, is away in West Farthing, looking for a place to buy, and he said he'd look after her home while she was away. But these new men are looking around, and he doesn't trust them. He wants me to go check on her home. So, and like I said, I'm going to skip these other quests. A lot of them aren't about Dwaling itself. They're about the lands around Dwaling. And while that's interesting, I've just decided to skip that whole chain. We'll learn plenty about the surrounding lands from the quests from the rangers. Alright, so I'm avoiding a lot of this just to get to the quest objective, and it looks like the only one I need to fight is this one right here. So that should be pretty easy. He's a swarm, so he was easier than normal. Alright, so now I'm going to go back to Hob, and then he will give me the quest that is the last one in this chain, which is the one that so many people consider one of their favorites in the game. It's just because it's funny in a peculiar way.
Well, the gall of some folk.
Alright, these big folks are violating their contracts.
Might I have a word with you?
I don't know that he explained what their contracts were. So that completed the first quest deed for Evendim. Now I've got the second one up, which is to complete 60 quests. There's a lot of quests in Evendim. Never in all my days have I heard of decent folk getting attacked in the Shire. Even if this is the North Farthing, folk should still be decent and civil. So he's asked his friend to draft a formal complaint to the leader of these men. And he would like me to go deliver this formal complaint. Take care that you don't let them bully you. Alright, so I'm delivering a formal complaint from the hobbits to the thugs that drove them out of their homes. Which is pretty funny. And now I know a lot of you watching are kids, and maybe you don't understand why bureaucracy is funny, but I'm supposed to just talk to him to begin the instance. I don't have to actually go there. But like I was saying, some of you kids might not understand why delivering paperwork is funny, but trust me, as an adult, it's hilarious.
Hello.
Yes. Hob asked me to draw up a letter of complaint. So he's proud of the work he did. Alright. So now I have to go into Dwaling. Okay. I had forgotten the step of the quest. So they are... Ooh. I want to try to avoid these two here at the entrance, so I'm going to drop down here. Yeah. So that way I don't... because I don't have to fight any of these. So... Alright, there's the doorbell. So I think I can get to it without aggroing any, which would be nice. Alright. So, he's saying that, you know, they're claiming this land, essentially. Oh, I aggroed a whole bunch of them. stunned. Actually need to use some health potions here. Okay, he ran off. Completed a blast deed. Use my bear heal. Use my AoE ability here. Alright, so I completed Hearten. Used Hearten 300 times. Alright. That worked out. Okay, I have to go back. Talk to Hob. Tell him I delivered the letter. I'm going the wrong way. I don't know why I still have my axes out. I'm not in combat.
Can't a body be left alone?
Shut the door in your face. That's rude. So, not saying anything about them attacking me. So it's a public building because it's the town hall. They don't have the right to close up a public hole. So, Bob doesn't quite seem to understand exactly what's going on. This wasn't a political takeover, this was a military takeover. So he says he wants me to march right in there and make him read the letter. Alright. So I'm entering a private instance.
An attempt to lodge a formal complaint on behalf of the glassblower Hob Hilbrow led to a violent encounter with the chief's men. The time has come to put the ruffians in their place.
Back again with your letter, he says. Alright. So they're attacking me again. Not a surprise. He resisted my bees. It's unusual for being under my level. Bunch of rats. Here, I'm gonna aggro all of them and then use this. Alright, that's pretty funny right there. Here, I can cleanse these, some of those poisons anyway, or diseases, rather. Well, that worked pretty well. Oh, here comes another of the brigands. Comes those last diseases. I think they might have been draining power, but doesn't hurt. Oh, here comes another. Maul them. Oh, no, I'm poisoned and wounded. Alright, well, I'm just gonna let her run. The bees might finish her off. She'll come back. Yep, she's coming back. Not worried. Yeah, come over here. I'm gonna get you with my AoE. Yep. That's interesting. My Relentless Maul isn't breaking the fear that I accidentally used. Ooh, stunned. Alright, the chief. Oh, the chief is a half-orc. Alright, the chief says that you've ruined Sharku's plan. Oh, here, this one's attacking me. Alright, I defeated him. So I can go back out. I don't think anyone comes in to see me.
Can't a body be left alone?
The leader wouldn't take the letter. He says he's going to write another formal complaint to their boss, who is Sharku, who, somebody important. He says, I must be mistaken about seeing someone with a goblin-like face, meaning the half-orc. No one like that has been seen in the Shire since Bullroar's time, and I've never heard of anyone named Sharky. So he's still convinced that this can all be solved with proper paperwork, which is pretty funny. Alright, I want to test something, so I'm going to take this Great Axe, because I'm wondering if maybe the damage for Relentless Maul is based on the main hand weapon damage. Alright, so I now have the title Servant of Process, which has this very long, very funny description. Alright, so here's what I'm going to do with this. So, see, the damage that this does is 43 to 50 to 48 fire damage, which is, you know, it seems to be based on maybe the damage of this. So what happens if I equip that? Yeah, see, now it does 73 to 81 common damage. So this skill seems to be improved a good bit by using a two-handed weapon rather than a one-handed weapon. And I'm curious if some of the other bear skills are the same way. So this is 92 to 110 if I'm dual wielding. It's 110 to 141 when I'm wielding a two-handed. So that's not too much of a difference on that. 63 to 80, or 65 to 88. Oops, didn't mean to use that mathem. I guess I had to as a gift mathem. Yeah, see, on some of these, the two using dual wielding seems to be a little better. Plus, I think I might attack faster. I don't know. I'm going to try this and see what I think of it. Just because I'm curious. Alright. You have another quest for me, Hob?
Could I take a moment of your time?
So, the Men of the North. So this is a vector quest. He says that the big folk that live in the north, not the ones who have come to town recently, live by the lake. And they were friendly to the hobbits, and they traded with them. They used to make a camp at the bridge that crosses the river. He wants me to see if they're okay. Alright. So, that's a vector quest to go farther north. And I'm going to do that one rather than stay here in Dwaling.
How do you do?
So, what he's talking about is High King's Crossing, which I already unlocked the travel route for, because it's kind of boring to ride across the Barendolf. And you'll get to see the Barendolf in the quests that I'm about to do. However, that is going to have to wait for the next episode, so tune in next time for talking to the Rangers at the Colossus. See you then, Niblings.